So we go back to episode 66 of Dragon Ball Super, and in this episode, along with the return of Vegito, we don't get just Vegito. We get Vegito on SSB. So we see Vegito in all his SSB glory, and on top of being a natural badass, he uses a move no most people expected it because they saw the episode preview for episode 66, but it's a move from the video games that nobody would have expected Toei or Toriyama to probably approve of, because I'm like, normally we don't see video game moves transfer over to the anime or the manga, but boom, Vegito, final Kamehameha wave. So the final Kamehameha wave ended up being so strong after Goku and Vegeta defused later on in the episode, they couldn't even become SSBs anymore. So the move is pretty popping. So we see Vegito take a couple hits from Merge Zamasu, but overall we basically see Vegito get the fuck off the whole time and open the can and whoop ass. So after everybody sees this, and then on top of seeing this, they fuse. So everybody was wondering, can Vegito take on Beerus? But before we get to that, we gotta we need to analyze the episode in further detail. So immediately, even before the fusion takes place, they hand us the new piece of info about Potara. First and foremost, any fusion between mortals only lasts an hour. Yeah, just an hour. So if this isn't a big enough pill to swallow, we end up seeing Vegito defusing way less than an hour due to the fact that Vegito was already super powerful and charged up because it's Goku and Vegeta fusing, and they used Potara. But they used the final Kamehameha wave, and they were in SSB, and they used the little psionic blade sword. That was a good scene. But that happened, and what basically happened was what happened to Gogeta and GT. It was so powerful. The fusion was so powerful, they ended up using the power to sustain it. So in other words, they were too strong for the fucking fusion. So with the 2 points we just stated, we just established from the episode, it's a couple other things we gotta go over to get an answer. So we need to understand what Potara fusion does. Supposedly, Potara fusion multiplies the power of person 1 by the power of person 2. So basically, if person 1 has a power of 10 and person 2 has a power level of 20, their fused form would be around 200. In weaker fusions, the effect of Potara isn't that great, but it's easy to imagine what it would do for Goku and Vegeta. I'm like, most people put Goku's base form now around Kid Buu. So I'm like, Goku's Kid Buu, most people put Vegeta and Goku around the same, area. So if it's Kid Buu times Kid Buu, come on now, that's a big power level. But I'm like, yeah, all right. So think about that now. Let's give another example. So let's say if two people were at a power level of 1,000 now, two people, so that means two people around the power level of Raditz. If they were to use the Potara and fuse, their power level would jump to around 1 million. Meaning that they would go from being able to compete with Raditz all the way to being able to compete with second form Frieza. Come on now. So Kid Buu times Kid Buu, that's a very big number. I'm pretty sure we can agree that the scales from Battle of Gods are probably useless by this point, but it would be pretty hard to say that if that Beerus could handle something like Kid Buu times Kid Buu and then SSB. We don't got the multipliers for SSB, but come on now. If we did, that'll put the nails in the coffin for the debate, just based on raw power. But anybody who sees this, I want everybody to know that DBZ isn't just about raw power. And even though you have a higher fighting power, that doesn't mean you will instantly defeat any opponent. But that being said, this is probably where techniques come into play. So we really don't know much about we don't really know that many of Beerus's moves besides probably the Hakai or destruction thing he used on Zamasu. But I'm like, besides that, all we really see are blasts. I'm like, you can really tell we don't know a lot of his moves, because like in games like Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2, up to date games that actually can put Beerus in it, they don't know what the fuck to give him as moves. They just give him random fucking blasts, and he got the big ass destroyer shit that he used on Goku from Battle of Gods. But we really don't know what kind of moves he has. We don't know what kind of moves he has. Beerus has Vados Champa. We really don't see shit. But so on Beerus' side, we're pretty lost on what he can do. But Vegito, a lot of moves. I'm like, any move Vegito or Goku can use, and then their combined moves like the final Kamehameha and the sword. But I'm like, one of the probably most important moves, which is one of the moves Goku has, is probably the instantaneous movement, or instant transmission in the dub. The technique could probably be the deciding factor and fight against Beerus, because especially if they pull a Goku versus Cell and use the instant transmission Kamehameha wave, or the instant transmission final Kamehameha wave in this case. I'm like, if they kind of like, let's say they were the instant transmission and then get behind Beerus and then fire that might be a move that Beerus can't handle. I'm like, that's a pretty strong move. But now, after all of this, it's kind of up to you to decide whether or not Vegito would be able to do it. You might think the time limit and the power restraints are too high. But on the power restraint side, it's another situation I want to explore, because it's like, if SSB is too high, what else could they do that'll probably stand up to Beerus? I'm like, Super Saiyan 1 Vegito, that probably, I'm pretty sure that's not enough, even though Vegito's power is way higher than it was in DBZ now, because I'm like, Goku and Vegeta's base forms got higher, so the multiplication factor is going to be way up now. But I'm like, I still don't think regular Super Vegito would be enough. Maybe like, but what I'm getting at is, do you think Super Saiyan 3 Vegito could stand up against Beerus? Because it's like, SS3 multiplier, well, the official multiplier is 4 times SS2. SS2's multiplier is 2 times SS1, so that's SS1's is 50, so 2 times 50, that's 100, then 100 times 4, that's 400. So 400 times Kid Buu times Kid Buu. Pretty big number regardless, even if we don't use SSB. So I'm saying, do you think SS3 Vegito is a high enough number? Some people are going to instantly say, oh, Vegito can't do SSB, or that's a non-canon character. But let's think about it for a second. Gotenks can become a SS3, right? Why can't Vegito? What a lot of people don't know is, Gotenks basically got SS3 from nowhere. They just did it. Most people are going to say, oh, Goku showed them how to do it. But need I remind you that this is an anime exclusive event, and that this never occurred in the manga. In other words, SS3 Gotenks literally came from nowhere, and I'm sure all the Dragon Ball OGs that were around when this chapter came out in Jump must have been caught by surprise. But I bring this up just to kind of exemplify the fact that if 2 kids can just do it without even knowing exactly what to do, Vegito, a fusion that has a character that literally pioneered the transformation, has to be able to do it. So now that we pretty much established that they have to be able to do SS3, do you think SS3 Vegito would be enough for Beerus? Because I'm like, honestly, I feel like SSB is too much. Like, I feel like they don't even need SSB for Beerus. I'm like, maybe just to overpower it and get it over quick, but I'm like, there's no way Beerus is messing with Vegito at the point in the series we're at now. I'm like, if it's kind of hinted that Goku could probably stand up to Beerus a little bit, because it was hinted when Goku unveiled the Kaioken for SSB. I'm like, if that kind of hinted a little bit that Goku might be doing something, could probably do something in a fight against Beerus, come on now, Vegito. That's another question. Do y'all think Kaioken Vegito would be able to do something, or do you think as soon as they use Kaioken, boom, they'll just defuse automatically? But after that, I don't know if SS3 Vegito would be able to do it, but I'm pretty sure SSB could defeat Beerus, especially when we're just going off raw power. Now, could SSB Vegito beat Whis? Doubt it. I highly doubt it, but that's a topic for another day. Um, Anybody who watched the video or even clicked on the video and didn't get to the end, appreciate you clicking on the video, stopping by my channel. I'm trying to restart my channel, trying to reboot it. If you would, I'm trying to reboot it, get it back started up. Anybody who wants to show some support, like the video, watch the video, subscribe, watch videos that future videos on my channel. Comment, do whatever you need to. I really appreciate it. Any of this helpful or educational, you're welcome, I guess. I appreciate you for stopping by my channel. Catch you on the next one.